You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Doctor, this is the mayor talking.
All right.
Doctor,
Come on, what?
always do the right thing.
If you came here to hear for fake, you are in the wrong place. We are for real around here. We keeps it real. This is the Doug Stewart Show, the livest, the realest, the trillest sports talk show in America. Are you not entertained? This is Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce, the Doug Stewart Show. Yeah! Game time. What's happening? I'm back. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. Ballas and Bustas. A lot of good times, man. A lot of fun coming up in the next 2 hours. You better believe that. Yeah, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. Once again, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. But let's bring it back. Woo! I feel good. I'm back in the saddle, baby. Very disturbing weekend for your boy, though. And we'll get into all of that, man. Shouts out to all of the Stewies riding with me again on this Monday, August 3rd, 2015. And we back. Woo. Shouts out to all of the Stewies once again, man. Back on the grind, listening to the Doug Stewart Show on this Monday, August 3rd, 2015. Thank you so much, man. Give yourself a round of applause. Give yourself a round of applause. I wasn't here Thursday and Friday. But you ride with me early on a Monday morning, August 2015. Thank you all so much for supporting the Doug Stewart Show, man. Thank you very much. If you're new to the show, thank you for tuning in. And trust me, we have a good time around here. Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. You need to follow the show on Spreaker.com. All right, hit the little follow button on Spreaker.com. You also need to download my app, the Doug Stewart Show app from your app store. Listen online at thedougstewartshow.com. We're all over the place. And then you need to be interactive. You need to join in on the conversation. You can do that on Spreaker.com. Just go to Spreaker and hit the little chat bubble, and then bam, you're introduced to a whole new world of sports chat. The greatest sports chat conversation chat room in the history of sports talk chat rooms. And its inhabitants are called the Stewies, and I call it the Fantasy Island of Sports Chat. Yes, sir! All right, man. So before I even get into what we're going to talk about today on the show, man, so I wasn't here Thursday and Friday. We did the best of shows on Thursday and Fridays, and as a matter of fact, I think something went wrong with the download on Friday, and it was cut off very early. I apologize about that, but we back in the saddle right now. So Thursday and Friday, my daughter and her 4x1 track team competed in the National Junior Olympics down in Jacksonville, Florida. And so just a little backstory on this, man. This is 10 months. This is 10 months of training. They start training in October. What's this? This is September. No, they start training in November. So from November till last week, the end of July, in effect, 10 months. And so they're in the 4x1. They were actually the 9th rated team in the country, 11 and 12-year-olds. My daughter, the LOP, the life of the party, the leader of the pack. That's what I call her because that's just what she is. And so they go down to Jacksonville, man. It's a ton of teams, obviously. This is a big deal. Once again, they've been training for 10 months. And if you follow me on Periscope, you need to follow your boy on Periscope, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them different platforms. Follow me at The Doug Stewart Show on all of those different platforms. I was actually, when the race was about to start, I actually was on Periscope. And so I was going to scope the whole thing, and the race actually started, and my daughter's coming around the corner, and they dropped the baton. And so I'm videotaping this thing as it's happening live. This is a live stream of what's going down. And once again, this is 10 months now of hard work in the sun, heat, running 1,000 sprints. I mean, it's just track is just so overbearing. And so they dropped the baton. I'm not going to even get into the details of what happened. I thought about actually posting the video, not the video of me periscoping, but the track meet actually was doing their own live production of this. So there's video out there. I thought about posting that, but I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. But make a long story short, my daughter tried to pass off the baton, and she wasn't able to, okay? And she actually fell down, at the start of this race. And so all of the parents are sitting together in the stands from the kids on our track team. And so it's probably 15, 20 of us all sitting together. And when my daughter reaches out to try to hand it off, she couldn't make the handoff. And she actually falls down. And while I'm doing this thing on Periscope, I'm catching this whole thing. And my reaction, like at the second it happens, when I realize when she falls down, I'm like, oh! And then the camera goes black. Or I drop the camera. Yeah, I dropped the camera. And everybody's just in silent. The crowd is in silence. And everybody on the parents of the kids on the track team are all just stunned. And my daughter's on the ground, pounding the ground. And she's already crying. It takes her 2 seconds to start bawling. She's crying profusely. And it was just a tragic, horrible, horrible situation. So she was inconsolable. I mean, she was distraught. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Didn't speak to anybody for about 5 or 6 hours, okay? Didn't want to talk. Feelings were hurt. And then, it's a team thing. So, in her mind, when it first happened, it looked very bad, and she's thinking she let everybody down. And inconsolable, man. Just very, very tragic events this past weekend, man, in Jacksonville, Florida. So we drive up there, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. We drive up there on Wednesday evening, get there late Wednesday afternoon, way afternoon. I guess you definitely should say late Wednesday evening. And the trip is like 5.5 hours from Atlanta to Jacksonville. And they run the race on Thursday. We're coming back Friday morning. We're coming back to Atlanta on Friday morning. No need for us to stay down there. That's the only race my daughter had. No need for us to stay down there. She's still mad. She's still hurt about this whole thing. And, once again, I'm not going to get into details about exactly what went down because it is a team thing. But it wasn't as bad as we thought initially concerning my daughter. And I even thought about posting the video online. It really because people that were watching on Periscope, they were like, what happened? What happened? You can go back and look at the Periscope video. It's real dramatic TV. It's real dramatic TV. Go back and check it out. You see exactly what happened when the whole thing went down and she fell down and wasn't able to pass the baton off. I just lost it oh! And then the screen went off the track just instantly. I didn't care anything about videotaping or doing a damn Periscope. So it was a tough weekend, man, but I told her, you look here, man, you're going to look back at this, man, and this is what you call crawling before you walk or walking before you run. And this is, you get past this, and there's much worse things that can happen to you in life. It was like a teaching moment. I tried to make it a teaching moment a little bit later, but not right then because she didn't want to talk to me. She didn't want to talk to anybody. So tough weekend for us, man, but she will be all right. She's in good spirits. Actually, they started school today. I don't know where you're listening at, but in Metro Atlanta, a lot of schools are back today. So she goes straight from track and running 3-4 days a week to back to school, all in one fell swoop. So real tough weekend for the LOP. Y'all wish her well. I know, studio audience, tough weekend for the Stewarts. All right, the number to the show, man, is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, we talk sports around here, guy talk, whatever's going on in the news, whatever dudes want to talk about, that's what we do on the show. I do birthdays. We have a little fun with that. Sometimes we'll do top fives. Today we're going to talk, obviously, some NFL. The training camps have already started in the NFL. I'm happy about that. I know you are, too. We got football, shouty. So we'll talk some football today. You see the title of the show, Time to Look in the Mirror, Chip. And talking about Chip Kelly, another player is on record talking about Chip Kelly and his relationship with players, in particular black players on the team. Dez Bryant is in the news, mixing it up. I got a little training camp fight story I can tell you. The Bills suspend a coach. And also today we're going to do a little training camp type preseason report on a college football team and an NFL team. Today, we all Tennessee. We're going to talk to Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Volunteers. Speaking of which, the Volunteers have a lot of big expectations this season for the first time in a long time. So we'll talk some Tennessee football today briefly. I'll take your phone calls. I'll read your chat. That's what we'll do today on the Doug Stewart Show on a Man Talk Monday. That's what we going to do. Yes, sir. Once again, the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Tree is back today, so she'll chime in. Maybe we'll talk about power a little bit later. All right? So, yeah, don't go away. Stay right there. Don't go away. We get back. Let's talk about this Chip Kelly story, man. Sometimes, like the great Michael Jackson said, and maybe I'll sing that today for y'all. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Sometimes you got to look at the man in the mirror. All this damn smoke, there's got to be some fire. I'm talking about Chip Kelly, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. So we'll get to that when we get back. This is the Doug Stewart Show. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! This is your boy Doug Stewart, one half of the Two Live Stews. Check out my brand new daily show and podcast that airs live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Spreaker.com. That's the Doug Stewart Show daily at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time, live on Spreaker.com. Or check out the podcast anytime, 24/7. If you not stewing, what in the world are you doing?
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your number one advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. This is a Man Talk Monday. Ballas and Bustas.
Here I am.
Gameballs and Goats. Speaking of ball awards, I guess it's like ceremonial that I give out the first ball award. So I'm going to go ahead and give a ball award out to what's her name? Ronda Rousey. I guess that's appropriate today to give her out a ball award as she knocks out Beth Correa in 34 seconds this past weekend. The reason why I'm kind of hesitant is because, okay, it's a sports story, and I know Tree about to jump in here. I know she is. It's a sports story, but I'm really not a fan of women beating the hell out of each other. Hey, let me just say that. And I know people say I'm a caveman, but I just give honest opinions. And it's real. Okay, here she come. Good morning, Tree.
Good morning.
What, Tree?
So you're okay with women running around naked on a football field?
I am 100% in favor of that.
But women fighting, like kind of like how you and your brother have this tag team.
Yes.
Bullshiggity. That's okay for y'all, but not for girls.
Tree, listen to me, Tree. And I am admittedly very old-fashioned, I guess. You remember heard the term. You remember hearing the term back in the day when you were growing up. Surely you heard it. You know, conduct yourself as a lady. Hey, you heard that before, right?
Yes.
I mean, and ladylike. There's nothing ladylike about two women getting in a ring and beating the hell out of each other. I just can't imagine. And I remember when Layla Ali first started, Muhammad Ali was all against it. Because it is what it is. It's women. I don't want to see women beat the hell out of each other. That's not ladylike. That is not ladylike. I'm sorry, and I'm old-fashioned, and I'm country. You can call me what you want. You can call me a caveman, unprogressive. I don't care. I don't think it's cool for ladies to beat the hell out of each other. And she beats the hell out of people. She does.
Did they get paid?
They get paid. I gave her a baller. I just gave you an honest opinion, though.
But you look how hard it was for you to really wrap your mouth around that.
Let me just say this: I wouldn't want my daughter fighting for a living or get.
Well, no,
I wouldn't want my daughters in a ring fighting another woman. Period. Just like Muhammad Ali didn't want Layla Ali to fight. Like, can you imagine your grandmama watching something like this? Like, my grandmother would be appalled. Rest in peace, Miss Mary Rivers. She's in heaven right now. She would say
drugs.
She wouldn't even right. She would say they were on drugs. She would say they were on drugs because women fighting doesn't make sense to my grandmother.
Women fight every Sunday on Real Housewives.
Okay, there we go.
Wherever.
See, there we go. But that's a bigger indictment on our society. That's right. It's a different day and time. But all I think about the first time I saw this women UFC, I just said to myself, what would my grandmother say if she saw this? My grandmother would be appalled. She always talked about so-and-so don't act like a lady. She need to act like a lady. So-and-so, I can hear my grandmother right now saying that. And once again, maybe it's a me problem. Maybe it's a me issue because evidently this thing is drawing big numbers. It's good ratings. Everybody's watching it. Everybody's enthused about Ronda Rousey killing people. She's knocked out 11 of her first 12 opponents in the first round. Made them submit or knock them out or she's just dominating people. But, I mean, what? Tree, would you want Kayla being a professional UFC fighter? Thank you.
But listen here, son. Listen. I hate to break
okay, let me say this for people that don't know Tree, that are new to the show and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Tree is she's like the freaking Billie Jean King of sports talk radio. She's for women's rights and, why can't women do this and that and the other? So I'm just trying to paint a picture for you of Tree's personality.
I'm different, but I want to express this to you. Your grandmother probably whooped some ass in her day, okay? I'm just keeping it real, especially in her day, okay, in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we should watch women fight, but I'm saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander. And people always want to put a label on what we should do versus what y'all can do. And I get tired of that.
I hear you, Tree. I hear you, Tree. What are your thoughts on that, man? Hit me in the chat room on Spreaker.com. Once again, I gave her a ball award. I'm just very uncomfortable with women fighting each other, to be paid to beat each other to death. I'm very uncomfortable with that. Once again, I understand. I understand what a lot of you are saying. Oh, you a caveman. All you want your women is barefoot and pregnant. Not that there's anything wrong with that. That was a joke. That's not the case. That's not the case. And I want women to be equal in everything in this country. But certain things I'm uneasy about. And that's a real statement. You're not going to hear that because I have the liberty to say whatever the hell I want on this show and keep it real. I mean, people that listen to me and have listened to me for over 10 years, I have to always say this. I have to always preface or tag on to this disclaimer that my heart is good, but my filter is not like you see on national media. Okay, so they would definitely not say this, because they are scared about what political correctness would say about them in the media. And I know I'm not the only one because I've had a ton of conversation with dudes, and they're like, man, I just don't like that, man. But it's 2015, and you got women coaching men in football, and you got women beating the hell out of each other in ultimate fighting. It's the world we living in. Like my shop teacher said in high school, the great Fess Manigault, we living in a time, Fessa. That's what he always used to say. We living in a time. You got Olympic champions changing their sex. You got women beating the hell out of each other in the ring. You got women coaching men in football. And that's the time we living in, man. it's not going to be the end of the world. Everything's going to be okay. It's just, just an honest opinion, man. Pittsburgh Steelers cornerback now, Brandon Boykin, former Georgia player as well, baller from the state of Georgia, Fayetteville, I think. He clarified his comments that Philadelphia Coach Chip Kelly is uncomfortable around grown men of our culture. That's the statement that Brandon Boykin's made. He says, Chip Kelly is uncomfortable around grown men of our culture. The Steelers on Saturday acquired Boykin, considered a top-shelf player. He plays slot cornerback, so he doesn't play one of the outside corners, which are, you've heard a lot of people probably talking about it today. Those are the guys that make the most money, and Boykin had made it known that he wanted to play corner, so that he can get a big contract the next time up. And the Philadelphia Eagles, from their side, weren't willing to do that. They weren't willing to pay him the money that he was wanting when he signs his next deal, so they traded him. Here's a quote. He says he can't relate, and that makes him uncomfortable. Boykin told CSNPhilly.com of Kelly in a text message Sunday morning. Another quote, he likes total control of everything, and he don't like to be uncomfortable. Players excel when you let them naturally be who they are, and in my experience, that hasn't been important to him. Now, you've heard several players on the record, quote-unquote off the record, say that Chip Kelly has a thing against black players. I am on the record saying that I don't believe that's the case. I mean, hell, he coached at Oregon. He had a ton of black players that he recruited. They brought in black players to the Philadelphia Eagles over the last couple of years. So to that, I will say I won't go that far. Some of these players are insinuating. What I will say is clearly he has a problem with anybody having, what's the word I'm looking for? Some type of authority in the locker room. He feels like that he needs to be the main guy. He needs to be the voice that everybody listens to, and I don't know if threaten's the right word, but he's uncomfortable, just like Brandon Boykin said, and other guys in the locker room with strong personalities. Because if you look at some of the guys they've gotten rid of, strong personalities. I will say this, though, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, it is him. This isn't a coincidence where 1, 2, 3, 4 guys leave your team and go at the coach and say the exact same thing in a sense as all these players have about Chip Kelly. That whole thing about where the smoke, there's fire. No, there's definitely fire. And maybe you could, explain it away by saying, this guy had an issue with him, this one guy, or this, maybe even 2 guys. But 3, 4, 5 guys on the record against Chip Kelly, it's a him problem. It's as simple as that. It's a him problem, personality clashing with the players. And usually this is an issue with college coaches that come to the NFL, is that, in college you have much more reign over the players. They're younger. They're more impressionable. So you can say or do whatever the hell you want. You can threaten them with the scholarship or whatever. And if you tell them to run through a wall, they're going to do it. These are grown-ass men. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. These are grown-ass men, many of which who make more money than you and are more important to the organization. And, they don't like to be treated as a kid. They aren't in college anymore. They aren't 17, 18 years old. And Chip Kelly has a real problem with that. And a lot of coaches that have come from the college ranks to the NFL have had a problem with that. Okay? They have. In being that authoritative figure. And so we'll see how it happens. Bottom line is if Philadelphia wins, nobody cares about this. But I think this thing is festering in the locker room because if these guys are saying it, when they leave, they're saying it. The players that are there right now are saying it now as well. It's just not being known or being said, around the microphone, obviously, because they play on the team and that's their coach. But if these guys have left the team and are open and these statements and these comments that they're making about Chip Kelly, then everybody in the locker room's talking about it. Trust me on that. And that's a huge problem, man. If you can't play for a guy, if you don't respect the guy, or if you think a guy doesn't respect you, I think it'll probably come to fruition on the field in some type of way. So what are your thoughts on that, man? 404-382-0338. If you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan, man, what are What are your thoughts? I'd like to hear from you as well. If you're in the city of Philadelphia and the state of Pennsylvania, what are your thoughts about the latest comments from Brandon Boykin on Chip Kelly, man? 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. When we get back from the break, we're going to start reading some of your chat. We're going to get into some of your chat. What are your thoughts about women fighting? I'm sure you're talking about that. What are your thoughts about this story out of Philadelphia? And Chip Kelly in Philadelphia have been pretty successful in his first couple of years there. They got to take it to the next level, though. They got to start to win more games. They got to win games in the playoffs. And if they don't, it's going to become an issue. It's going to become a bigger issue in the locker room between him, the relationship between him and the players. All right, 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. When we get back, we'll quickly do some birthdays, and I'll jump into your chat. That's right. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. If you're not stewing, what in the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Tough weekend for your boy, but we all right. Every time I leave my daughters or we're leaving her track practice, and I mean, literally a week ago, they were running at 2 o'clock in the day in the middle of the heat. And I'm talking about 97, 98, 99, 100 degrees. And I think they ran this particular day, they ran 8 400s. Or no, 8 300s. They ran 8 300s, which is in effect 75% around the track, an entire track, in the middle of the day. And she's done and she's about to pass out, or we leaving, we get in the car, and I'll just turn down the radio and I says, you know what, man, what don't kill you will only make you stronger. That's all I keep saying to her. And then they dropped the baton in this track meet this past weekend. So it's very disappointing. So that's what I had going on this weekend, man. And then coming back today talking to sports and shouts out to all of the Stewies, man. Thank y'all very much, man. Thank y'all very much. So birthdays today. You know, in the past I would say the great Tom Brady, but I'm taking away the great in front of his name from now on. Tom Brady is 38 years old today. Cheating ass. He's 38 years old today. Quarterback for the New England Patriots. My reverence for Tom Brady is just gone. It's just gone. Once again, a couple of years ago, man, I would have said, and I started to make the argument that Tom Brady had surpassed Joe Montana in greatness. I'm on record saying that. But no more of that. Yes, Tree?
You actually, like, and as I start trying to edit, you in some, like maybe one of the first 7 or 8 shows, you talked about him and his greatness.
Yeah. I was a huge fan because I've always said that Tom Brady didn't have the weapons around him that Joe Montana did in San Francisco, which is obvious. You talk about what they had in San Francisco. They had John Taylor, and they had Jerry Rice, and they had Roger Craig. They had better all-out teams back then, and Montana had better players to throw to and help him out on offense than Tom Brady's ever had. And Brady really, outside of the year Randy Moss played with them, where they had that record season, Brady has had a bunch of second and third tier type receivers, I would call them. I would. Wes Welkers, Julian Edelman, Troy, what's his name? Troy, his name anyway right now. He played cornerback sometimes for them. You know what I'm talking about. But he's had a bunch of Jabari Gaffneys of the world. He's had a bunch of second-tier receivers, and he's put up incredible numbers. But it's lost a lot of his luster to me, man, because maybe he's been cheating. Maybe he's been playing with deflated footballs his entire career. Maybe he got little hands or whatever, like the dude in Burger King, in the Burger King commercials. And so he's always had to have the ball deflated. So he turns 38 today. Todd Gurley, the great Todd Gurley, former Georgia running back, is 21 years old today. Ooh-wee. I know it's training camp, but he turns 21 today, pocket full of money. First-round pick by the St. Louis Rams. Probably the second. Is he the second best running back in Georgia history? Okay, I'm going back from Herschel Walker to now. And maybe we could do this one day on the show, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Ooh. Todd Gurley, I think he might be the second best running back in Georgia history. Number one, obviously, is Herschel Walker. Number 2 is, and I'm drawing a blank once again, and I apologize, running back that played for the San Francisco 49ers, ward number 5 for the Georgia Bulldogs. Oh, Garrison Hurst. I think I might take Garrison Hurst over Todd Gurley. And this is a topic for an entire show. But I think I might take Garrison Hurst was such a beautiful running back. I always talk about O.J. Simpson and how beautiful he was, how pretty of a runner he was, him and Eric Dickerson. But, man, there was nobody that turned the corner like Garrison Hurst. There was nobody. And Garrison Hurst was a little fire hydrant. He was a little knot. That man had big-ass calves, like caveman calves. And that man used to turn the corner. He had a little lean with his running style, man. I think I might take Garrison Hurst. If I had my choice between Garrison Hurst and Todd Gurley, I think I might slightly take Hurst before I take Todd Gurley. But it's very close as far as the next 2 running backs in Georgia football history, or at least over the last, 40 years. Martha Stewart turned 74 years old today. Happy birthday to her. Very controversial over the last couple of years. Michael Ealy. Oh, and Tree puts, yes, Lord. Michael Ealy is 42 years old today. Then she puts, I think he's short, though, so I can't mess with him. Tree has a problem against short dudes. Their eyes were watching God, 7 pounds, and Too Fast, Too Furious. He's also been in a couple of these rainforest films over the last couple of years, too. Tony Bennett is 89. let's see, I left my heart in San Francisco in rags and riches, 89 years old. Does he perform in Vegas, Tree? Does Tony Bennett perform in Vegas, or is?
Yes. You know, he's got a really, not that you would be into this, but he's got a really good, I think it won a Grammy album with Lady Gaga, because Lady Gaga is actually a real singer that got, you know,
Right.
they turned her into something else. But yeah, he's definitely still performing, getting the coins.
Okay. And last birthday, Isaiah Washington turns, you don't have the birthday here. Quickly, can you tell me?
Oops.
How
I'm
old is
sorry. I was so caught up with, because you know what his claim to fame is, right?
Who?
Like,
Isaiah
you know
Washington?
why Isaiah.
Yeah, what did he do? What's
Are
his
you
claim to fame?
Are you a Grey's Anatomy person?
Hell no. I've never seen an episode. Is it good?
It was. I don't like it anymore. But he got in a lot of trouble, like when it first came out, because he used the F word.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
No,
remember.
I'm talking about the F word. The F word.
As far as the derogatory street vernacular for homosexual.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I remember that controversy.
He's 52 today.
52. Okay.
Yes.
So happy birthday to him. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the details, but yeah, I remember there was some controversy, and God forbid you use a term like that in 2015. It's a rap. It's a RAP. If my brother were here, he'd say it's a RAP.
Yeah, forget about free speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not promoting use of that word.
Right.
I'm just saying
No.
the bullying that
Right.
goes on
Right.
is
Right.
unbelievable.
And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Appeared in Crooklyn, Clockers, so he had a little relationship with Spike Lee. Dead Presidents, Love Jones, Girl 6, and Romeo Must Die. Okay, I didn't realize he had been in so many things, but yeah, happy birthday to all of them today, man, on August 3rd, 2015. Happy birthday. All right, let me get into some of this chat, man. What I'm going to do today is read a lot of your chat. We still got to talk about, I got a little training camp fight story with this whole thing with Dez Bryant that I can tell you. People that play football know that happens so much. I mean, it's like you got to have that happen. Yes, Tree?
Can we talk about baby daddies or baby mamas?
Yeah. Okay, I'll tell
later?
you what. I'm just going to give you my opinion on this whole Sierra Russell Wilson thing. And then when we get back from the break, I promise you all we're going to do is read chat. That's all we're going to do. So if you on social media, Facebook, Twitter, or whatever, you've seen the pictures. Sierra, who's dating Russell Wilson, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, went out to one of their training camps and had the kid out there, which is, first of all, is breaking some type of man law that you let your wife come to two-a-days. Maybe during the season, you just casually come in, but two-a-days is like all work. And it's hot as hell. I can't remember a picture of a wife, girlfriend coming to two-a-days and hanging out in the field. I mean, so she's definitely out of pocket for that. But the whole controversy is she comes to this training camp and she's got her son, who is not Russell Wilson's son. It's the rapper Future's son. And the kid's very little, and the kid's running up and grabbing Russell Wilson's leg like he is daddy. And I just think the whole thing is just, once again, out of pocket. And I think Sierra knew exactly what she was doing. She's trying to play that man and the two dudes against each other or whatever, start some type of artificial beef. And then she like headlines. She like drama anyway. She's in the entertainment industry. So I think the whole thing was contrived. And Buster Award goes to Sierra.
Are you kidding me
Yeah,
right now?
go ahead, Tree. Buster Award to her ass. A big-ass
have,
Buster Award to Sierra.
We only have 60 seconds, and what I got to say, I mean, how you gonna just get into her head and decide that she's contriving things? First of all, we don't even know how long they've been dating.
Right.
Secondly, kids can feel energy. Have you seen Future? Like, if he was my daddy,
What's
I
wrong?
might run the other way.
What?
Okay? Russell is easy on the eyes. His spirit is really
Oh, here you go.
soft.
Here you go.
Maybe that baby ran to
Look,
him.
we ain't gonna have but so much of this light-skinned love around here, okay? You already started with the Michael Ealy, and now Russell Wilson. This ain't National Light-Skinned Brother Day around here. Not on the Doug Stewart Show.
You cannot accuse that woman of doing anything but moving the F on. She's moving forward with her life.
Well, it didn't sit right with me and a lot of dudes in this country. She wrong for that. She shouldn't even put the baby in that situation. She shouldn't have put him in that situation. Okay, unless they get married next week. If they were getting married next week, I would understand it. Because the kid's going to obviously be in the little boy's life from now on. But, I mean, hell, it could be done tomorrow. And you got your little boy getting attached to this dude. He's just a dude. He's just a dude. She wrong for that, man. Bust the award to her ass. Boy, Tree got a nasty look on her face today. A couple of times. Yeah. Bust the award to her. When we get back from the break, all I'm going to do is read chat. Don't go away, the Doug Stewart Show. That's bootleg. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there, all right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes!
National Debt Relief is one of the country's largest and most reputable debt settlement companies, made up of energetic individuals who are passionate about helping thousands of Americans with debt relief. Most importantly, we're all about helping our customers through a tough financial time in their lives with education and individual customer service. We're dedicated to helping individuals and families rid their lives of burdensome debt. Specializing in debt settlement, and they've also negotiated settlements for thousands of creditor and collection accounts. Providing clients with both expertise and proven results, this means helping customers in time of hardship to get out of debt with the least possible cost. It can also mean conducting financial consultations, educating the customer, and recommending the appropriate solution. Core Services offer debt settlement as an alternative. I repeat, alternative to bankruptcy, credit counseling, and debt consolidation. National Debt Relief is your #1 advocate group to help you reestablish financial stability as quickly as possible. So give us a call at 844-828-4975. Again, that's 844-828-4975, and work it out.
At Ticket Liquidator, we believe you should have access to the experiences you want to be a part of. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers with the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. Ticket Liquidator's nationwide network gives you access to one of the largest online inventories of sports, theater, and concert tickets, with prices lower than most companies in other markets. And our security policies are solid, so you can buy with absolute confidence. More tickets, better service, and lower prices, so you can witness the best entertainment, culture, and sports events worldwide. At Ticket Liquidator, we know that seeing a legend bring down the house or watching your team win the championship is about more than a ticket. It's about being there. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, call us at 855-638-3034. Again, that's 855-638-3034.
Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday, Ballas and Bustas. See, it's not the He-Man's Woman Haters Club. It's a Man Talk Monday. All right? You need your ballers and your busters, a.k.a. your game balls and your goats. Give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. In life, things happen, good and bad, and being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and a protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So what I've done, man, is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172. And tell him that the Doug Stewart Show sent you, all right? Let me read some of this chat here, man. A little bit later in today's show, we're going to talk about the Tennessee Titans and the Tennessee Volunteers real briefly. Some of the teams that we're going to highlight in this year's preseason reports on TDSS. From Vince Wright, he says, BPA to Jared, having sex with minors, sick. Now, wait a minute. Has that been verified? That he's been having sex with kids? I think I read the story where, he paid somebody like some money to have sex with a 16-year-old girl. Yeah, man, you ain't never going to come back from that. Just like we talked about a little bit earlier, if you use the F word in 2015, you don't come back from that. If you ever have sex with a minor and you pay for it, in the prostitute sense of the word or scenario, that's a bad look. And if you don't know who Jared is the spokesman for Subway. He's the guy that supposedly lost all this weight eating Subway sandwiches. And just Google it. I'm not going to get into the story, but he's caught up in a sex scandal with minors, and he had child pornography allegedly on his computer. One of his good friends and one of the bosses with his foundation was indicted a couple of months ago on child pornography, and Jared got something to do with that. It's just a bad look. You just can't have sex with the children. That's just. So he definitely gets a Buster Award, and he's probably going to win the Boiled Peanuts Award this week, too. If you're new to the show, we give out a Boiled Peanuts Award, which is given to the Buster of the Week. It's a long story behind it. Ask somebody in the chat room. They'll tell you. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Chico the Alpha, he says, Doug, J-Rob just requested you to sing Man in the Mirror. Good job, J-Rob. Wow. Chip Kelly, Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror. If you're new to the show, I sing also. Not only do I provide quality entertainment when you're talking about sports and guy talk, but I also sing. Very talented in that manner. I just realized it a couple weeks ago. But I sing sometimes also on the show, karaoke style, but it's much more than karaoke because I'm actually talented. So let me think about that, man. There's so much stuff to talk about today. I'm going to tell you right now, probably won't sing anything for you today. Maybe I'll play one of my classics. I'll replay one of the classics. The Tree's clapping her hands, whatever. Tree's not a fan of my singing. I don't know why. Tree's an established, accomplished singer. And sometimes she, hates on me and what I do. From J-Rob, please don't sing, Doug, especially Man in the Mirror. Let's not read that one. Texas Ty says, yes, Doug, sing Man in the Mirror. I mean, the people are asking for a Tree. Texas Ty. Boosa says, the last time Doug sang, my dogs rejoiced. My dogs rejoiced in all of the glory of your singing, Doug. My dogs love your singing, Doug. Thank you, Boosa. Thank you very much. Speaking of animals, Tree, jump on here for a second. Have you been to the mall lately and seen these people selling these little animals called sugar bears? You know what that is?
No.
Okay, look up sugar bear or sugar glider. I was in the mall yesterday after I performed. I forgot to even talk about the fact that I performed in Bug Tussle, Tennessee this weekend. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But after I performed, I went to the mall. We stopped by the mall coming back from Tennessee, and they were selling these little creatures that kind of like squirrels. They're like flying squirrels, but they only grow so big, and they're kind of like a combination of a flying squirrel and like a hamster, I guess the best way to put it. And they're selling them for $500 in this particular mall that I stopped in, with the cage, with the food and everything, and they live like 12 to 15 years. Real cool little things, man.
You better stop. People better quit trying to play God. Okay? You don't do that.
What do you mean? Do what? It's the new gerbil. That's the new
a
hamster.
gerbil is a real thing that we can date back. This is some old GMO animal stuff.
I looked it up online. It's from Australia, originally from Australia. It's a cool little thing. Just look up sugar bear, sugar glider, GLID, because they actually fly. They don't fly. They glide. They jump and then they glide. They kind of have like the little, things under their legs where they can glide through the air. And they selling the hell out of them, man. They had a crowd of people at this mall watching this thing, or looking at this thing to purchase. From Eugene Jackson, Jared from Subway, like them young, sleeping with a 16-year-old girl, Chico the Alpha, BPA and Meek Mills, Doug's, it's a must. Are you kidding? I totally disagree with this whole Meek Mill Drake controversy. More light-skinnedness going on. Tree smiling at Drake. I'm not going to get into the whole thing about this Meek Mill situation. First of all, these 2 diss tracks that Drake put out on Meek Mills are whack. Both of them are whack. I mean, whack. And once again, I'm not going to get into this whole thing, but if you're not paying attention, all right, for people that don't know the whole controversy, Meek Mill, one of these up-and-coming rappers, basically diss Drake, saying that he doesn't write his own music. They had some type of beef where Drake was on one of his songs and he didn't tweet it out. He didn't support Meek Mill's new album or something to that degree. And Meek Mill came out and was like, Drake don't write his own music. He don't write his lyrics. Now, that whole thing has been forgotten in this story in the last week and a half or so. Drake hadn't denied this. He hadn't denied this. And where I'm from, the old school, early 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, if you don't write your rhymes, you are whack. If you do not write your rhymes, you are whack. And I know everybody's talks about they have writers and this, that, and the other. No. This is different. So Meek Mills got all these people that are saying he's getting clowned by Drake, and Drake has all these fans and everybody's supporting him. No, I don't look at it like that. I look at it as Drake has not denied these accusations by Meek Mill, which means in my book that he's probably not writing his rhymes, maybe have never written his rhymes, and thus he loses all credibility with me. And I actually like Drake's stuff, but he doesn't write it, so I like it less now. That's the real. We're getting into all of these great little side topics today. And look at Tree. She's mad now because I just,
You don't know if he writes it.
What do you mean?
Sometimes there is power in silence, okay?
Yeah.
So you're just first you accuse Sierra of maniacal plotting.
Busta warned Sierra.
Now you're accusing Drake of not writing his rhymes because he hasn't disputed it.
Tree, let me say this. Old school hip hop, if somebody dares come out of their mouth and say you don't write your rhymes and you did, you going all at them. You going all out calling him a liar. You a lying SOB. Prove it. Prove I don't write my rhymes. This, that, and the other.
Soft today.
Well, yeah, these kids today are different. And they fans of Drake, and that's fine. And Drake, and once again, I'm not really mad at Drake, to be honest with you. If this is how he makes his money, that's fine. But he needs to say that he's not a real rapper. He needs to say that he's an artist and a guy that gets songs written for him and his lyrics written for him, and he's not really performing. He hadn't said no. He hadn't said that's not the case. So, not that Meek Mill is this great rapper or anything like that, but if Drake not writing his rhymes, which he hadn't denied, it's been about 2 weeks, he has not denied it, then his ass is wick, whack. Thank you, studio audience. Studio audience is old school, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I've been going back and forth with cats on Facebook. So-and-so, it don't matter. What do you mean it don't matter? You think KRS-One didn't write his rhymes? You think Biggie didn't write his rhymes? Come on, man. That ain't hip-hop. That ain't rap.
We know he didn't use his own music because his producer was using every beat that you ever heard growing up.
We're not talking about the beats. That's a different discussion. We talking about rappers writing their lyrics. That's big time. That's taboo. You got to write. You're an artist. You're a poet. What poet doesn't write his poetry? So I'm Team Meek Mill on this. Damn, another light-skinned dude in the conversation today. The hell? Meek Mill, Michael, what's the guy's name? Michael Ealy, and Russell Wilson. Damn, it's the return of light-skinned brothers. We can't go back. The dark-skinned brothers ain't going back to 1978. We not going back. You know? We're not going back. We're not going back without a fight. Hey, when we get back, more of your chat messages. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Stay right there. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and number one independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes! I don't like Johnny Gill. He took my spot on New Edition. One of my favorite songs of all time from New Edition is Can You Stand the Rain? So to pay ode to that famous song, man, I'm going to give you my little rendition of Can You Stand the Rain? On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. Ooh. When that's not possible, tell me, can you weather the storm? Then Ralph jumps in. 'Cause I need somebody who will stand. Shut up! Who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She will always be right there. Hey, sunny days. Everybody has them. And tell me, hey, can you stand the rain? J-Rob, Tree, if you stop Doug singing, we will renege your BPA nomination. Huh? Buster, Doug, I see why you got kicked out. Dude, wait a minute. Back up, Jack. Shut up. Studio audience, y'all are out of control today. I mean, seriously, we're going to talk about this. We're going to have to take y'all into Larry's office after this show. That ninja, you just cracked my damn phone screen. What? Where's all of this coming from? Who's putting y'all up to say these things? Who's putting y'all... Okay, Tree, jump on for a second. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Did you prompt these people to say these nasty things to me on Spreaker.com?
You know what?
I mean, it's jealousy. Tree, we know that you sing. But you don't have to be the only person that can sing, okay? I can see it. What do the kids call it? Hating? Is that what's going on here, Tree? Are you hating on Doug Stewart? Dirty Della.
Oh, my God.
Dirty Della. Oh. Dirty Della. Oh. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Hour number 2, baby. Welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show. A lot of interesting chat out there today. Yes, sir. These off-sports topics, man, are they're pretty good, man. We talking about women beating the hell out of each other. Taking your son around an arbitrary dude. Light skin trying to come back. No, Stoney Jackson ain't never coming back.
An arbitrary dude, a dude that wants to honor her by not having full-on sex with her, because I know they're doing something. A dude that wants to honor her.
Tree, what I'm saying about arbitrary dude, what I mean by that is, unless Russell Wilson is going to marry this chick next week and he's going to be in this kid's life for the rest of his life, you know, when they're broken up and when he's not thinking about her and she's not thinking about him, yes, he will be in the category of an arbitrary dude. That's my point about that. I feel, and this is my personal opinion, and I've been in the situation kind of sort of the opposite way with my oldest daughter. I just don't want no arbitrary dudes around my kids, Tree. I just don't. And once again, if his intentions are to marry her next week and he's going to be in this kid's life, then that's fine. Then the whole, narrative changes. But obviously this kid is becoming attached to just an arbitrary dude, Tree. As of right now, he's in the category, and if they break up, which they probably are, I don't see Russell Wilson marrying that chick, but maybe I'm wrong. If they break up, in that kid's mind, 20 years from now, hey, Mom, why you had me hugging up on the leg of an arbitrary dude?
Okay, I don't want to ruin our friendship, but what I'm about to say, if ninjas, females, males care that much, then they need to do more surveying, more research before they ride raw. Because when you ride raw, you run the risk of possibly not liking that person afterwards anymore. Or some of y'all check out just because it's hard or whatever the case is. Mm-hmm. But make the application process a little bit more detailed and a little bit longer if you really are that broken up by the fact that she moved on with someone else and he's filling in, so to speak.
Like the old people say, it's just out of pocket. It's just out of pocket. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show, Man Talk Monday, Ballas and Busters. Listen, man, grab a pencil and a sheet of paper. I want you to write down a website with some good stuff, all right? You got your pencil and sheet of paper? Here's today's money solution for everyone. Need more money? Well, I've got your answer. Get money for whatever you need, bills, business, charity, education, or any personal need. This is not a loan. I repeat, this is not a loan. You do not incur any debt, and there's no repayment necessary. You got to get more details on this, right? Because that sounds almost like, wow, that's unbelievable. For more details / information, visit www.5565123.com. Once again, that's 5565123.com. All right, once again, I'm going to give you the number one more time. And I'm going to write down this. I'm going to write it down for myself. I need a loan big time. That's 5565123.com. Very easy to remember. 5565123.com. Let me read more of this chat here, man. Thank you so much for the chat. You can hit me on the Spreaker chat on Spreaker.com. Quickly, though, Buffalo Bills offensive line coach Aaron Kromer has been suspended for the first 6 games of the season. The suspension begins on Monday, September 7th, and ends at the conclusion with the Buffalo Bills versus Cincinnati Bengals on October 18th. Basically, Kromer and his son hit a kid on the beach and allegedly threatened his wife. I don't know how you even keep your job after doing something like that, but he's going to keep his job. He's only suspended for the first 6 games of the season once again. And this is alleged, so we'll keep our eyes on that as well. From 9-0 the Rhino, those girls in World Star be fighting like grown men. Yeah, you look at that and you shake your head, right? So why is it different? And I guess the same thing could probably be said for boxing, and boxing has a lot of detractors out there in general. But it even, is even bigger and more glaring when you talk about women fighting. Like I don't even click on those videos that I see on Facebook or whatever. Somebody posts a link of 2 chicks on the street fighting, and inevitably somebody's hair get pulled out, a tiggle bitty pops out. I'm not a fan of that. I don't watch that stuff. And so I definitely don't feel the same way about women fighting than I do men. And maybe I'm just a caveman. That's fine. Vince Wright, Doug loves the women in the kitchen. No, you said that, Vince Wright. I didn't say that. But I do need a nice home-cooked meal. From Stagger Lee, we love to see hoes get beat as long as they ain't in elevators. Okay, there you go. That's Stagger Lee. Play Cousins, bring back Layla Ali from KC. And we talked about that before, too, as well. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. If Layla Ali were to get in that ring with Ronda Rousey, if she could keep off her legs, I think she'd beat the hell out of Ronda Rousey. I do. Because she's real nice with the hands. I mean, obviously, comes from a great pedigree and all of that. From KC, Doug, don't want women coaching or fighting. No, I don't have a problem with women doing either. That's their opinion. I'm giving you my thoughts on the whole concept of it. And that's not accurate the way you put that. I don't want women, whatever. I just don't think it's ladylike for women to be fighting. It's not. Boots or Doug, what about women wrestlers? Now, women wrestling, that's a whole different thing. I am 100% in favor of that. No, I'm just joking. I never really was a fan of the women wrestling back in the day as well. You remember the Great Moolah? The Great Moolah still wrestling, I think, till this day. And she's 97 years old. It was kind of like a side, show type thing where every once in a while, and especially if you went to go see it live, you saw women wrestling. Usually they'd be like the first match before the headliners came out there. Speaking of which, man, RIP to the great Roddy Piper, man. Oh, my gosh, died this past weekend at the age of 61 years old. Rest in peace, Roddy Piper. I think maybe we need to play some Gangsta Lean for the great Roddy Piper. But yeah, this was done back in the day in the traditional wrestling, not wrestling, with women going at it against each other. Was never a fan even back then when I was a kid. From KC, if Ronda Rousey gets a Ball Award, then Lolo Jones gets a Bust Award for saying she could go one round with Ronda Rousey. Have you seen Lolo Jones? Have you heard the accusations made by her family about them getting their ass whooped by their sister and their cousin or their auntie? Read the story about Lolo Jones. And she's much bigger. I would think she's much bigger than Ronda Rousey. From Ronald Cameron, the Drake versus Meek Mill battle was a pillow fight. Yeah, the whole thing is whack. You're talking about 2 young rappers. The whole thing is whack. The 47th problem. Women beating folks up like grown men is not sexy at all, and I'm not paying for that ish. Nope. I agree with you, sir. From Eddie Mo 2.0, they can mud wrestle, but I agree with the boxing each other. Vince Wright, the reason Doug's daughter cried all night is because he tried singing to her to cheer her up. Whatever, Vince. Vince, you don't know great music when you hear it, brother. From Grego, Rousey kind of cute, though. I don't know. I can't overlook that. I don't agree with you on that, sir. She looks kind of cute in a morbid type way. From J. Rob. So how much does Rousey get paid? I'm certain pay-per-view dollars has got to be up there. Does she get any of it? I have no clue on their pay scale for women UFC fighting. No clue at all. From Eugene Jackson, BPA leader so far, Jared from Subway. From Grego, that chick that fought Rousey needs a BPA nomination as well. Talking ish about a dead parent and getting beat in 32 seconds. Yeah, they were trying to sell a fight. That's what they would tell you today. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Vince Wright, he says, BPA to Jared for having sex with minors. I think I already read that one. Yeah, I'm sure I did. From Miss Mocha Bella. Good morning, Miss Mocha. Thank goodness Junior Seau's daughter will speak on behalf on her father in this week's Hall of Fame inductions. Change of heart. Yeah, that whole thing was actually they are now, from what I hear, are going to let Junior Seau's daughter speak at a ceremony for the Hall of Fame. I don't have a problem with it at all. I kind of understood where they were coming from, saying that, they had to put some type of limit on it. They'd had an experience in the past where one of the family members that spoke for a deceased incoming member of the Hall of Fame went for like an hour. And so they kind of wanted to put some type of restriction on it. I kind of got that, but I definitely don't have a problem with a family member going up there and speaking for their dearly departed one. From the 47th problem, maybe they don't like Kelly's standoff personality. The coach ain't their friend, so now he can't relate. Sounds like they're crying to me, and they might be. From Busa, I don't even like the way Chip Kelly does his press conference. All I see is rebel flag on his face. I don't think Chip Kelly's from the South, Busa. I don't think he may be. He may be from, I don't know. He may be from, backwater Alabama somewhere. The 47th problem. What kills me about the Kelly-Boykin situation is that Boykin says Kelly can't relate, but hugged him and shook Kelly's hand when he left. Maybe Kelly just wants total control and built depth at the corner position. Casey, unless there's a kitchen or bed in the octagon, Doug doesn't think a woman should be there. All right, see, that's what you said, sir, not me. From Booster Doug, that's how I feel when I see women bodybuilders. Women lifting more weights than me with big-ass muscles. Yeah, not a fan of that either. I do like a woman that's athletic. These women that compete in these like Iron Man or Iron Woman competitions or whatever that are toned and got a little physique about themselves. You can tell they're in shape. I absolutely love that. But when you start looking like a female Tony Cole or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Lou Ferrigno, that's definitely a turnoff. It is. Yeah, I don't want to have to worry about we doing the do and you put me in a headlock and squeezing the life out of me. I don't want to have to worry about that. And I think I speak for most dudes. You can keep your muscles to yourself, lady. You can keep your muscles to yourself. If I squat 200 pounds and you squat 300, we are done. Hey, when we get back from the break, more of your chat. And we'll also talk about this Dez Bryant getting in a fight at training camp for the Cowboys. All right, Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show.
If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you. So, They can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. The world's heavyweight champion of Sports Talk Radio. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you for joining your boy. Man Talk Monday. And talking about these sports. Y'all seen the little story with Dez Bryant. Cowboys started training camp, and Dez got in this little skirmish with one of his teammates, second-year cornerback Tyler Patman. And you don't ever know what the situation is with these type of things, but this is normal. This is par for the course for the NFL, for football in general. My very first practice in college, when I got to college, defensive end, and maybe somebody's listening to the show, I said the same thing last week when I told a Newberry College story. There's this guy named Chris Holtzclaw, and he was like 6'4", like 250 pounds, played defensive end. He was like a senior upperclassman when I got there. And first day in pads, he plays the defensive end, so he rushes the quarterback. And what do I do? What do I do as a 5'10", 185-pound guy? I cut his knees under him like a damn switchblade. And he goes, flips over. It was a great block. You know, I did my assignment, and I cut the guy, you know, trying to get to the quarterback. And so I cut him. I cut his knees, and he got up, and he grabbed me by my jersey and just, like, flung me probably 30, 40 yards. And then so when I hit the ground, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and this thing is all about bravado and letting somebody punk you, you know, a la Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito, who, by the way, he's going to start for the Buffalo Bills this year, Richie Incognito, and the other dude that said he was getting bullied, Jonathan Martin, retired. But I just wasn't going to let dude punk me, so I got up, and like black people are versed in the art of displaying their feathers like a peacock. And so I made this big thing. I'm screaming at him, and I run at him, and by that time, somebody jumps in between us. Thank God they did that. But I wasn't going to let him just toss me. Plus, I was a rookie. I was a freshman. And if I would have let that cat do that and not had any type of response, then it would have been like that for the rest of my damn career there. And that's probably something, you know, you're setting the stage for cats. And dudes, you know, they're sitting, okay, this is dudes. And I've used the term caveman a couple of times a day, and there's still a lot of caveman characteristics to dudes. You know, and that's why a guy like Jonathan Martin doesn't last long on an athletic team, on a football team, because a lot of times you got guys that are bare bones, nasty, violent, testosterone-filled people. Okay? So this is no big deal at all. Because it's the Dallas Cowboys, because it's Dez Bryant, it got a little bit of conversation. But I doubt there's any training camp that started in NFL that goes a day or two without somebody having a fight. I mean, that's just the way it is. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Dallas, man, a lot of people thinking Dallas is a team to beat this year. This is a team that can win a Super Bowl. I don't know about that. But definitely, you know, now they don't have DeMarco Murray, it's going to be an interesting year for the Cowboys. The Falcons actually go to Dallas this year. That's going to be a big weekend. I'm actually already in the process of putting together some things that particular weekend as well. So stay tuned to the Doug Stewart Show. From Grego, y'all think if social media didn't hype it up, the future senior would care? Or would he be like, better him than me? I can save my coin. That's from
Thank
Grego.
you.
I don't know about that. And really, to be honest with you, once again, I don't know the exact relationship between Future and Sierra. I just think that Sierra stepped across some type of line in bringing her, first of all, being out there. And then second of all, bringing this kid out there and putting the kid, once again, the kid and Russell Wilson in a uncomfortable situation. And you're right, Tree. You made the point earlier, Tree. You did make the point that what if Russell Wilson didn't react that way to the kid, then he's a bad guy. That's probably the case. That's probably true. Back to my point. She shouldn't have brought the kid out there to put that kid or Russell Wilson in that situation.
We do not know why she brought the kid out there. She could have been leaving a doctor's appointment, and then Russell said, hey, stop by the wherever they are. Why don't you stop by?
If Russell,
I got the baby with me. Oh, it's okay. I want to see the baby. You and all these people seem to know what conversations have gone down, what's been discussed with Future, Sierra, and Russell. You don't know.
We don't know any of the details. What I'm telling you is, from a casual observance, it was a bad look. That's all I'm saying. Forget everything I've said about this whole scenario, because you're right. I don't know. What I'm telling you is a bad look. It's a bad look for him, and it's a bad look, definitely a bad look for her.
Well, hopefully they don't give a damn what people think.
Exactly. You're right. I wouldn't. You're right. If I were in their position, I wouldn't. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. But the easy way to be totally interactive is to chat. I'm going to read more of your chat here in a second. This segment is brought to you by Ticket Liquidator. Since 2003, Ticket Liquidator has been connecting buyers and sellers to give you the opportunity to attend the most sought-after and often sold-out events across the country. The goal is to bring you more tickets, better service, and lower prices so that you can be there to witness the best of the world of entertainment, culture, and sports. For all your sports and entertainment ticket needs, give them a call at 855-638-3034. Once again, that's 855-638-3034, and tell them that the Doug Stewart Show sent you. All your ticket needs. More of your chat here on the Doug Stewart Show. In the next segment, man, we're going to talk some Tennessee football, the Volunteers, and the Titans on our daily NFL college football preseason reports. From Grego, BPA to Sierra. Yeah, she's nominated. I'm nominating Sierra for BPA. I am. Yes, I am. That's what you call show host liberty. And Tree doesn't want it. Tree's like, no, she shouldn't. No, she shouldn't. Yes, she should. Yes, she should. She's nominated. And the listeners will decide whether she wins the Boiled Peanuts Award. She's just nominated. But she is nominated, damn it. Sluggo, Sierra was dating Russell as a minimum wage NFLer, and now he's hella paid. It's all good. What? Come on, man. She started dating him, I don't know. Tree, do you know how long they've been dating? They've been dating after the Super Bowl this year, when everybody and their mama knew Russell Wilson was going to get this new 4-year, $87 million deal. She wasn't dating him before he got drafted from Wisconsin. No. So no, I'm not saying that that's why she's dating him, because she's a gold digger or something like that. But it's kind of, interesting, the timing of the whole thing. From Stringer, if Russell really feeling Sierra, he should have stepped to Future and had a convo about being around the kid, not ask permission, but at least have the conversation. Yeah, that's right. That's what men do. I agree with that. That's a very good way to put it, man. But you know what? These younger people, man, it's different today. They don't talk to each other. We don't talk. All we want to do is text. I can see Russell Wilson texting dude. That's cat as hell. From Togo, Uganda, Sierra is trying too damn hard. She look real thirsty out there. That's another thing. She look real clingy. Tree's got this look of amazement on her face. She don't look real clingy. Who comes, and Tree, and I said this earlier, I can't remember or recall pictures of a star athlete in the NFL and his wife or girlfriend at training camp at two-a-days. We're not talking about just a regular day, after the season starts. We're talking two-a-days, which you're literally trying just to survive. 1,000 degrees out there, you're trying to get back in shape. I ain't seen nobody have their girlfriend out in the field like that. With the baby, then you throw the baby into the equation? That whole thing's bootleg. What, Tree?
I cannot deal with you today. I mean, maybe you don't need to take 2 days off in a row.
Whatever.
You've been drinking, buying fake-ass gerbils.
I didn't buy one of those sugar gliders. I just admired them from afar.
And
I didn't buy one.
Wait a minute. Tell me what mall was. When was your gig? In the morning?
Oh, I got to talk about that as well. Yeah, I performed this weekend.
Was it a church and a club? I mean, what?
Well, I'll tell you more about it. This was late afternoon when we stopped by the mall on the way home. This was kind of like a day party that they had in Bug Tussle, Tennessee. I'll tell you about it when we get back. And we'll talk some Tennessee Titan football and some Tennessee volunteer football briefly. All right? Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. And I turned it out this weekend. Yes, sir. In life, things happen, good and bad. And being prepared is always important. If you're like me, a husband, a father, and protector of that family tree, then your family is the most important thing in the world. 95 million U.S. adults don't have protection in place. So, what I've done is put my protection in the hands of the largest and #1 independent financial services company in North America, and that's Primerica. They look out for middle America because they believe that offering the most competitive premiums only benefits the client and have been doing so since 1977. If you're a parent, husband, or wife and want to discuss options with one of Primerica's top reps, then call my guy, Greg Wynn, at 678-439-7172. Again, that's 678-439-7172, and he'll put your family first. And hey, tell him that Doug Stewart sent you. Yes!
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
I'd been talking about red rice and frogmore stew. Another one on the list, on number 13 on this list, is peanuts taste better boiled. Yes. And as God is my witness, my wife did not know people boiled peanuts and ate them. She did not. My wife's from Ohio. And yes, boiled peanuts, if cooked right, are the bomb.
Sports talk. Straight, no chaser.
All right, so I got to clear something up. and I don't even know why anybody's mind would even work like this, but evidently it's becoming a topic of conversation. In the last segment, I was talking about boiled peanuts, okay, that come from out of the ground, not boiled peanuts. And so, evidently there's some talk in the chat room about Doug talking about boiled man parts. No, peanuts. I'm trying to say it as slow as I can. Peanuts, okay? What is it, P-E-A-N-U-T-S? Peanuts. No, man, not boiled peanuts. Come on, man. And I see Vern in here. Damn you, Vern. Ugh. Y'all know what the hell I was saying. This is the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers in compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. All right, we back in the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining your boy, man. If you've been listening to the Doug Stewart Show this past 11 months, at the end of this month, we are going to have our one-year anniversary, September 22nd. We're over 8,000 followers, well over 200,000 listens. I haven't even looked at it in a while, man. Thank you for everything. but I need you to continue to tell people about the show. That's very important. That's very important because our budget for marketing is very limited. So we're doing all this guerrilla marketing and all these innovative ways to try to get the word out about the show. But the best way and the easiest way to get the word out, man, is to tell people. Tell one person on your daily voyage about the Doug Stewart Show. It's very simple. TheDougStewartShow.com, The Doug Stewart Show on Facebook. It's all under The Doug Stewart Show. All right, so tell one person that likes sports, guy talk in a format and a platform that's going to keep it real, all right, and have a good time and laugh and all of that stuff, man. The Doug Stewart Show. Thank y'all so much. All right, the Tennessee Titans, today's featured NFL team. Tennessee's really been struggling over the last couple of years. Last year, a 2-14 record, thus getting a high draft pick this past draft. They drafted Marcus Mariota with the second pick in the first round. They also drafted in the second round Dorial Green-Beckham, the wide receiver from Missouri, who a lot of people feel like is one of the steals in the draft. So they're, in effect, getting Mariota a couple of weapons to go at, to throw downfield to. They also had a couple of more key additions as well. They picked up wide receivers Hakeem Nicks, used to play for the Giants, most notably. I think last year he played for the Colts. So he's been kind of going down. But Hakeem Nicks, when he was with the Giants, was one of the best receivers and one of the best guys in catching the football in the game. But once again, his brand has kind of gone down over the last couple of years. They also picked up Parrish Cox, wide receiver as well. Obviously, Marcus Mariota comes in. Jake Locker, the Jake Locker experiment is over. He's gone from the team, and also Cameron Wimley is gone from the team as well. The question, okay, for head coach Ken Wisenhunt coming into this season and for the Tennessee Titans is the quarterback. Is Marcus Mariota up to the NFL challenge? He's going to have the ability to show that. He's going to be starter from day one. And so that's going to be the question, is the receivers, and can Marcus Mariota be that quarterback in the NFL? And I've said this from day one, talking about Marcus Mariota, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is I love his skill set. And 9 times out of 10, man, I would say that this probably would be the guy more so, or between the two, between him and Vince Young, I probably would go with him. But the problem with Marcus Mariota is he comes from a system and from a team and from a program that traditionally, as quarterbacks, have not excelled in the NFL. Whether what they did at Oregon with that offense is too gimmicky, whether it just doesn't translate to the NFL, I don't know. But you can look back at all the Oregon quarterbacks under that Chip Kelly system where it's kind of like a spread or whatever, and they spread the ball, and the quarterback has this athleticism. When they get in the NFL, they just don't do well. So it's kind of like my feelings on Marcus Mariota is a coin toss on whether he's going to be great or he might even be out of the league in a couple of years. We will see. And briefly, the Tennessee Volunteers. The Tennessee Volunteers, great expectations for them this year, man. 7-6 last year, the SEC East. But this year, Tennessee is preseason ranked to win the SEC East. What? Now, for a first time in a long time, Tennessee's been in this position. And there's a lot to be excited about for the Volunteers. Obviously, quarterback Joshua Dobbs, junior quarterback, highly heralded, coming out of Alpharetta, Georgia, right here in the state of Georgia, is the main man. There was some conversation in the last couple of years between him and Worley as far as who was going to be the starter. But you're talking about the multi-dimensional Joshua Dobbs. It's his job. No controversy. Great quarterback, great skill set. Once again, one of these athletic guys that can run and throw. Great athlete once again. Jalen Hurd, the running back who I absolutely love. Big running back. He's like one of them old school running backs. It's kind of like freaking Bo Jackson or Herschel Walker. Maybe not quite with as much athleticism, but a dynamic talent. Big, 6'2", 225 pounds, runs very well. I really, really like him. Seen him play a couple of times. Obviously, I don't pay attention to Tennessee football like that. But fantastic player, a guy that I think if they can get it cooking, could maybe be in the conversation for a Heisman Trophy. Butch Jones, been coaching there at Tennessee since 2013, 12-13 record. But once again, a lot of big expectations for the Volunteers. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Relative to the success, the Tennessee Volunteers have gone through a lot of expectations in the past. And since 1998, they've come up short basically every year. You remember back in 2012, Vince Dooley's final year, it appeared that the team had everything it needed to turn the program around. They had Tyler Brady guaranteeing an SEC championship and all of that crazy stuff. And then they went 5-7 that year. Back in 2005, they started the year at the number 3 position with tons of starters back and coming off a 10-3 season. Then they went 5-6. So Tennessee, ever since Philip Fulmer left and ever since they won that national championship in the late 80s, has been down. I mean, there's no other way to say it, man, but everybody, all of the quote-unquote experts, believe that this is the year that the Tennessee Volunteers are back. We will see. They are preseason ranked number 1 in the SEC East. And listen, I like it when Tennessee is good. Tennessee recruits nationally. So they get players from all over. I guess they don't have a bunch of talent in the state of Tennessee. So a lot of times you look at their roster, they got guys from Georgia, they got guys from Florida, they got guys from Texas, guys from California, from the Midwest as well. And, you know, Philip Fulmer, Peyton Manning, you know, Peerless Price. They've got some players with some big prominent names. Neyland Stadium, 100,000 plus fans packed into Neyland Stadium on a Saturday. Tennessee being good is good for college football, so we'll see what happens with them this year. So there you have it. Quick little previews for Tennessee, Titans, and the Volunteers. 404-382-0338 is the number to the show. Now let me read a couple more chat messages before we get out of here. From Ronald Cameron, R.I.P. to the great Roddy Piper, arguably the greatest wrestling villain of all time. And I started to, and maybe we'll do it tomorrow. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And the question, I guess, the kind of top 5 I was going to try to do, or maybe I'll do tomorrow, is the top 5 people you hate most on TV. I think Roddy Piper might be the first person on TV that I actually hated. Yes, Roddy Piper was that dude. You talk about a dirty son of a bitch, and this was his character. This was wrestling. This was his character. But Roddy Piper really, really made you hate his guts. He was the best at it, man. You talk about villains and heels and wrestling. Roddy Piper might be the greatest one ever, man. So maybe tomorrow we'll do top 5 people you hate on TV. So that way we can kind of encompass, you know, people on dramas and on whatever other type TV shows that there have been out there. From Bruh McDowell, somebody please go check on Ric Flair. What happened to Rick? Is Rick in bad health?
He's probably just saying that because a lot of them are dying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not only that, maybe he's talking, saying that him and Roddy Piper were good friends or whatever outside of the ring. But yeah, man.
They're just getting old. I mean, I think that's young though.
Generally speaking, though, to live to 61, the age that Roddy Piper died at is relatively good for wrestlers. They check out early. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the pounding they take from getting body slammed on the mat, you know, night in and night out for many, many years that just does something to their internal organs or whatever and puts everything out of sync. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but wrestlers die early. And so 61, you know, I mean, it's a good run. It's a good run. You much rather live to be the age of 100 or so, but wrestlers die in their 30s. Early 40s. Knock on wood. From Miss Mocabella Doug, I know you're a fan of women mud wrestling. Not really, to be honest with you. Scotty, come on, Tree. Sierra isn't a victim. She has to love her child's best interest in mind at all times. She's confusing the kid. Right, that's the main issue. Is if they're not
a baby.
Okay, if they're not,
they don't even remember ish.
You don't know. You don't know what that kid remembers. Just because you don't remember at that age don't mean he can't. That kid might be Einstein. That kid might remember everything that happens to him. That's the problem. If they were serious, if they were, you know, if it's already been established that this is going to be a long-term thing, that they're going to spend their life together, that they're going to get married, and the kids is going to be around this guy, I understand that. Well, man, I'd be surprised if they're still dating in a month.
I really cannot wait for the devil or for God to make a liar out of you.
About Sierra and Russell?
I mean, y'all carry on, Douglas. The Oracle, the great and powerful.
Well, thank you.
You just gonna declare some old doom and gloom on somebody's relationship?
Yeah, I am. Because I've seen this happen, I don't know, about 1,000 gazillion times. I mean, it's very convenient. It's very convenient. Russell Wilson and Sierra. Sierra? Now, I'm in Atlanta, and I'm a Sierra fan to a degree. Now, come on, man.
Did you just admit that you're a Sierra fan?
Russell Wilson, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Russell Wilson just signed a $47 million contract. Let's just put it like this. If I was him, I'd keep my options open.
We need to take a bet. Me and you. We got to talk about this another time.
Not the Sierra. We're about to go to a break here. Not that Sierra ain't fine, but Sierra's come a dime a dozen when you Russell Wilson. And you just signed an $87 million contract, and you're going to get $60 million guaranteed, and you've been to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row.
Okay. It's so negative.
I'd keep my options open if I was that ninja. That's all I'm saying. And he probably thinking the same thing. Well, maybe not. Maybe he wants to get settled down. You got to think he wants some of that Newtsy. Because they said they're not going to do that. They're not going to do. Good for you. Sierra? Come on, man. All right, don't go. When we get back, all I'm going to do is read chat. Damn it, it's the last segment of the show. Time flies when you're having fun. Don't go away. The Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. So, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you. I love you. So me and Tree's talking in the break. She's shaking her head at me right now. Once again, thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. And I was telling Tree, this whole Russell Wilson and Sierra thing, that I had a couple of relationships with women that had kids before I met my wife. And I remember them purposely making it a point for them, not to really allow me to get attached to the kid or the kid to get attached to me. I think that's the right way to go. I mean, as simple as that. The bottom line, I wasn't going to be around after a couple of days. So, I mean, it makes sense. And it's
that is so inappropriate. And
I'm serious.
The sadness is she probably thought you were, Douglas.
No. She knew the hell I wasn't going to be around for a couple of days.
Well, if there's an understanding between two adults, then so be it.
That's my whole issue with this thing is I haven't seen any indication, and I don't believe that this is going to be a long-term thing. From a lot of different perspectives, like Russell Wilson, he just got divorced or broke up with his girlfriend or whatever. I think divorced. And he ain't trying to jump back into that. He got a pocket full of money, got a little status. I mean, sow your wild oats, bruh. I mean, what's the rush? You trying to settle down with Sierra? I mean, now listen, I don't know nothing about Sierra and her dating habits or, who she's, had relationships with or laid with or anything like that. I'm just saying that, I mean, you can find you a Sierra. You can find you a Sierra without a little crumb snatcher. I mean, you can find you a Sierra straight out of college. You can get you one of them young girls, man. I mean, you still not like Jared Young. I'm just saying, you can find you a girl straight out of college, not a lot of miles on her odometer. You understand what I'm saying? Why would you want to? Not that Sierra has a lot of miles on her odometer. All right, let's just move on. Let's just move on. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Tree is pissed off. Tree, did you see Power this weekend? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show.
I did.
What are your thoughts? Let's get back. Let's be
turn
friends
down.
again.
Whoever didn't see it, turn it down. We had to make an executive decision. I won't be here tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we're talking about it now.
About this, yeah. Great episode. I thought it was a great episode. I think Power is just gaining steam, man. I mean, it's great TV. It's great drama.
Man, it was. I had a hard time sleeping. It was everything.
Why? What about it made you have a hard time sleeping?
Well, I was really mad at Ghost because I thought, are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
You're going to turn on Tommy? But then I just kept replaying in my mind. And the fact that that attorney in another scene from next week, I saw the attorney in there with Tommy. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
They played Angela. They need Lobos out of the way.
So you think that's what's going on? Is some? I definitely see, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, I definitely see some type of twist coming where somebody was working with each other when they didn't really show it to the audience, to us watching the show. We're at the end, the season finale, whatever. It's gonna be like, oh yeah, we had this whole thing figured out, from the beginning.
50 was showing his ass, boy, how he was like messing with Sean and kind of effing with his head.
Yeah,
doing that reverse psychology stuff.
Sean is his son, right?
Yes.
Man, he
punked him.
He's lame. I mean, that dude is, and maybe he'll turn into a better actor, but he's horrible. He's lame as hell. His character's lame, first of all, which maybe that's the reason why I just don't like his character, man.
Don't you think
somebody gonna get killed too? Somebody gonna get killed too.
That's the measure of a good actor, though. The fact that you said that about the little boy on Empire. The fact that you don't like him, that when you see him on the street, you're going to be like, Ninja, you dumb.
But see, not once again, I think maybe that's just his character. The little dude, I can't remember his name from Empire. I think he's a good actor.
Not Jamal, the other one.
I think he's a good actor. I don't think this dude on Power 50 Cent's son is a good actor. I think he like somebody's cousin or something.
How about the casting? And no, he's not somebody's cousin. He has a full-on IMDb. But the casting of Sean, him and 50 look like they about 10 years apart.
Yeah.
And then they got old-ass, that Tasha lady with, you know, the one, is she from here? She's the one whose ex-husband she pays alimony to.
Right. Yeah.
That's Sean mama.
In real life, you're saying?
No, on the show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, the ages do kind of like strike me as, you know, you remember on the Jeffersons. A lot of people don't know this, but Wheezy is like 20 years older than George in real life.
Damn.
Yeah, and on Good Times, JJ was only like 8 years younger than James.
What?
Yeah, Jimmy Walker is only like 8, maybe 10 years younger than John Amos.
I
No
did
lie.
not know that.
No lie. Yeah.
How about Tasha though on Power?
What about her? Oh, she hardcore. I love Tasha. She's a great actor. I'm telling you, she is really building up a nice resume where she's going to be that Angela Bassett or whatever actress black actress that's going to get all the roles in 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? She's good.
I'm feeling her.
Yeah, she's really
and
good.
And Lala, not so much.
Exactly, I agree.
What are you doing back? What are you and your whatever you call them doing back?
What do you mean?
You know how she tried to...
Oh, yeah.
What y'all doing here?
Yeah. They had guilt written all over their face, the way they say it. Yeah.
Right.
All right, let me read a couple more of these messages before we get out of here, man. Thank y'all for all of the chat messages. I really do appreciate it, all the posts on the Doug Stewart Show. We're working diligently to try to get a third hour, man. We are. I'm telling you right now, we got some big things in the works, so stay tuned. I know you want a third hour. I want to do a third hour, too. We have a great time around here. We're working on it. For the 47th problem, one thing is for sure, Wilson is not raw dogging anybody. No, he's definitely not. He's one of them God squatters. That's what they call him in the locker room. The truth, and we're talking like we know how long they have been dating, from Stagger Lee, Russell Wilson ain't hitting Sierra, but be at Magic City on Monday night. What? Wait a minute. Stagger Lee, you seen Russell Wilson at Magic City? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but he doesn't come across that way in the media. From that ninja, Tree said nothing, cut her mic. You don't have to defend every woman on the planet. Oh, but Tree's like, once again, the best. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a modern-day woman libber. She's like, the only person I could think of is Billie Jean King. She's like the black Billie Jean King of sports talk radio. She going to defend women. That's kind of what she does. That's fine.
It is not what I do. I defend choice.
Okay, that too. You defend that too. The truth, if you wait until they get married and the kid don't like him, then what? Okay. That's what I'm saying. Once there's clear indication that this thing is serious and that they're going to get married, then maybe you start easing the kid into the equation. You know, maybe then. I don't get that impression that this is going that direction. I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. Be wrong again. From Miss Mocha Bella, Riding Raw, I know Sierra is on Russell. Stagger Lee, Tree has lost it. Future just wanted to put the tip. Future just wanted to put the tip in. That's funny. That was a classic line. Let me just put the tip in. Oh, boy, if those walls could talk. From that ninja Tree, there's no argument here. You don't bring dates around your children. Who doesn't know that? You don't. They're dates. And I've said it 30 times. I'll say it one more time. If this thing is going to be serious, then I understand it. You start easing the kid into the equation. You know, just because we went out to a couple of award shows together, and I want to have you on my arm, you know, for a photo op. That don't mean I'm gonna start bringing my kid around you, letting him hug on your leg. I mean, clearly that kid think he daddy. That kid was hugging him and kissing him and, you know, grabbing on his ankles. Man, that's not good. That's not a good look, man. That's just not a good look. I'm sorry. Now, if Russell Wilson and Sierra announce some type of nuptials and they have a ceremony and forever and for worse, all of that type of stuff that they talk about at weddings, then I'll come on here and say, Sierra, I was wrong. I revoke your Boiled Peanut Award nomination. But I don't think that's going to happen. Yes, sir. I don't think it's going to happen. Woo! Thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show today. The realest and trillest, most fun. I mean, sometimes brutally honest on this show. You hear brutally honest opinions on the Doug Stewart Show. You do. So, that's what you're going to get, man. I'm sorry. Tree is just, I haven't seen Tree this mad based on the conversations that we had today than any other time, I think, doing the Doug Stewart Show. We've been doing this a year. Almost a year. Tree, I still love you. We family. Okay, we family. We just got a difference of opinion on some of these issues with these women. I don't like my women fighting each other, pulling out tickle bitties and getting their hair messed up. I don't like that. You know, I'm kind of on the fence on women coaching my football players. And I don't think you should be bringing your damn kids around professional football players in August at two-a-days. Unless y'all gonna get married next week. That's just me, man. Thank you for tuning in to the Doug Stewart Show. Shouts out to all of the Stewies. Thank you. The Tree of Life. Thank you, Tree. Thank you, Tree. Thank you very much. It's okay. Waterhead Walter, thank you very much for all you did today. Dwayne Bassan, Gerald Oliveri, thank y'all so much, man. I really do appreciate it. We'll do it again tomorrow. Damn it, I didn't get to tell a story about Bug Tussle, Tennessee this weekend. Remind me to tell you about it tomorrow, first thing. Yeah. Tribute Tuesday tomorrow. Got to remember that, Tree. And also, we'll probably have a good top 5 for you tomorrow as well. Top 5 hated characters on TV. That's what I'm feeling right now. We'll see. All right, same time tomorrow, same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.